know, just buzzing around the neighborhood, causing a little ruckus.
Welcome back to another one, guys. Today we got a quickie for you. Just another step in the build process is basically going to be fitting everything up. Okay, so we're working with a brand new hood aftermarket, brand new fenders aftermarket. Okay, now I've already gone and had this mocked up already, and I'll show you those pictures now. We had a little bit of a situation because I was being a little bit, I took a risk on buying an inferior product. It was a little bit cheaper, and it really bit me in the ass, okay? So now I'm back to square one again. So before we go any farther with the rest of the body work, you know, getting these fenders all prepared and stuff like that, I wanted to put them on the car, line everything up, shim everything where it has to be, and then we'll take it apart and we'll continue with the paint process and then put them back together. All right, just an extra precautionary step, simply because if something isn't right and we need to make any modifications, we could go ahead and do it now versus doing it after everything's painted. All right, I did run into a little bit of a snag, probably because it's my own fault, which I know it is. So when I mocked this up the first time, it was before I did any of the bodywork, paint, all that stuff, right? So since then, you know, I had the motor, I put the motor in the car, wired it, started up and ran it, and I showed you a couple of those clips several months ago. Yeah, we had a good time, all right? It's a lot of fun, test and tune, but it probably wasn't a good idea to do that without the doors, the windshield, the hatch, and all that other stuff, right? So when I mocked everything up the first time, I really didn't need too many shims, but suddenly now I needed a lot of shims on the passenger side for the fenders. Hopefully what's happened is things kind of settled in place a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't settle anymore, but we'll know if we start to see some of these body lines close up, you know, after a while, or make a couple hits and the body lines start closing up. If that happens, we know that this thing's flexing and moving way too much. A standard strut tower brace isn't going to help. It isn't going to work out because all the stuff that's going on. So either going to have to custom make one, possibly make something. I got to figure out something. All right, but let me show you what's going on. All right, guys. So this hood, I've had a few questions about it. This hood I got from, it's a steel hood, right? And I got this from, I believe, I got this from CJ's some time ago. All right, it's been sitting around. But I like the fact that it's louvered. And then we went ahead and cut our, don't mind this, I still got to get that all squared away. But we went ahead and did the wastegate dump through the hood. All right, now, these fenders, these fenders, they're very, very cheap. All right, these are Tongyang fenders. They're all right. I mean, they look good. I got them to line up. I had to do a couple little to get them to line up and stuff. But you can see, nice, right? Not too bad. This can get a little love right here, a little bit more. Guys, this is like a day's worth of work to get all this lined up. All right, as you can see, not too bad, right? Not terrible. All right, we're gonna fix all this and all that. But I set my ride height, got that all good. Don't mind the makeshift hood release. Okay guys, this is how we're looking. So if you notice, Now the hardware is temporary and stuff like that. A couple little shims here and there. On this side though, woof, boy oh boy. It's like I had invest in some shim stocks. All right, because kind of needed it here. Guys, without like going up on a frame rack and measuring this thing prior to like the motor being in the car and all that, and then measuring it afterwards after we put some power to it, I'll never know if the car actually moved or not. I don't see any place, like I don't see any wrinkling or stress cracks, or I don't see anything like that. So why do I have to shim it suddenly? I don't know. Maybe the hood's in a different position, so on and so forth. So what I'll do is I have to make sure that now I put this hood back exactly where it is right now, and I'll drill some witness marks in the hinges to guarantee that we do so. Okay, and when we get to that point, I'll show you. All right. But as of right now, everything's kind of lined up, and then what I'm going to have to do at this point, I'm going to find some couple brackets. I want to put it together, and then I want to go for a ride and make sure that nothing's rubbing on my wheel wells, okay, especially when I turn, because we do have the 20s, and you know that it's been quite challenging so far getting everything just dialed in perfect. So we're going to dial it in perfect, make sure we're good to go 100%, then bust it down again, do the body work, do the paint work, and put them back together. This way we're good and we don't have to play with anything no more. Guys, I had Cricket over here the other day, and when I was doing all this lining up and stuff, and we started to notice the distance between here and here is a little bit different on both sides. It's about a quarter inch off. And if you do notice, check this out. See, that's not even close. Whereas this right here is a lot closer. What does that mean? What it means simply is this. I have an aftermarket hood, an aftermarket cowl, aftermarket fenders on a car that's probably not 100% straight anyway. All right? It's all part of the game, guys. All right? You got to do the best you can with what you have sometimes. But if you do the best you can, you will ultimately have the best you can out of your build. All right? It requires a lot of work and a lot of playing around. I'm going to point something else out. I don't know how well you'll see this on camera, but I managed to get this body line right here perfect with the door. Okay? It might be a challenge to make that. Okay, there you go. You can probably see it right there. See? That's perfect with the door. Now, this is perfect right here. So we got to say the driver's side, even though I want to probably tighten this gap up a little bit, it's perfect. Fender's perfect here, perfect down the hood. I'm going to show you something that's making my head spin, but we're going to fix it. Come to the passenger side. We're good here. Our body line, our hood is good. Everything's good. Hood's sitting level. Everything looks good. Okay? Our body line. Perfect. All right? That's lining up. Our gap is good. However, this body line right here and the door. I'm trying to give you the best shot here, guys. This is going to be very difficult to see on camera. But if you look, this body line and the door body line is off about a half an inch. Okay? Really hard to see. So we got to fix this. Okay? Now how are we going to fix this? Good question. Good question, guys. How are we going to fix it? I'm going to have to recreate this body line with some body work, and have to just do the body work. I don't know. I don't know. You're going to have to watch another video on that one, because I'm going to throw a Hail Mary pass over here. I wish I could say I could punt, but I can't. All right? So what I'm going to do in the meantime, also, I'm not running any moldings here, all right? And then we're going to do something special. We're going to do something special as far as a diffuser goes, all right? So I'm going to fix these holes, ultimately. So this is going to get the Cervini's Cobra style bumper extensions with the Cervini's from bumper. That's on the way. So I'm still waiting on the bumper, and I can't really go any farther without that, so I'm stuck for parts, all right? But the bumper that I had on here was a Stalker, I guess, imitation. It was a Duraflex bumper, fiberglass, all right? Found it for a very reasonable price. It was somewhere around $400 or $500 with shipping free. And I got it. I bought the Cervini's Cobra extensions, and I just started, guys, it was a nightmare, all right? Nothing fit, okay? And I start grinding this, moving that, filing on this, to the point where I even cut these brand new fenders, because I had to, that bumper was too wide, and I actually had to bend these fenders. So now I got to fix this, all right? I got to put this back to normal. I didn't do the other side, but basically I was doing all these modifications, and by the time I had about, I don't know, 25 hours or so invested into trying to get this bumper to work, I realized it was never going to work because it was so warped and so crooked and so just not right. I fixed it, and this is how I fixed it. That's right. I took the Sawzall out, I chopped it up into a couple pieces, and I threw it in the dumpster, all right? So I was like $400 or $500, I was out, but I learned a hard lesson, all right? You know, aftermarket body panels, you know, do require some fitment, and well, you know, their claim is always, you know, professional installation required. Yeah, we get it, we've been there. But when it's not even close, like when you literally have to start modifying that part so much where you're gonna like need to cut it down in half and shorten it up by, you know, 1.5 inches and all, forget it, okay? Right in the dumpster it went. I saved up my lunch money, and I got the real one from Cervini's. It's on the way, and we'll get that thing installed here, just like we did the back bumper, okay? That's what happens when you try to save a buck. So, for now, let's do a little bit more tweaking on this. We'll take it for a ride. We'll make sure that we're not rubbing anywhere. I gotta buzz this together real quick before we go any further. I set this up originally to go something like that. Possibly. Let's see if it actually bolts up this time. Yeah, looks like we got it. It's kind of close. Close enough. Close enough for now. That should help us out a little bit now for our little test drive. And then we'll find out where it rubs, and we'll take it from there. If it rubs. A little custom bracket situation. Okay? It's all the little things, guys. Hungry.
Tony D. What's up, Tony D?
Test it, test it.
Ooh, look at that burn puff.
Get up, let's go.
Ready to go burn some rubber?
Let's go. Nah, I don't think we're burning rubber. We're gonna burn some clutch real quick. You know what I mean? All part of the
thinking? Yeah, we got no more rubbing now. Oh, turbine. That brake's better now?
Not really. Not really better, but I mean, I'm not hammering on it. That guy's got the loudest system ever.
You know, just buzzing around the neighborhood, causing a little ruckus. Oh, I gotta get up on that wastegate a little so I can see it. Got it now.
I think it's.
Oh,
faster.
look at this mess.
It's faster with the fenders on.
Tunnel in there. Yeah, I think she's hooking up.
I'm down.
Little ruckus in the neighborhood. Everybody's got a little something around here.
Yeah, you know, that's it. We live in a very free country, I think, and I think the neighbors love this kind of stuff, to be honest with you. Just as long as you don't run over the Amazon guy, we're good.
Watch out for the Amazon guy. Sounding good.
In there. Bro, I think
She's pretty quick to spool, that's for sure.
We're making boost. I mean, it's right there is making boost. You can hear it. So I think we're doing good, man.
So what are you thinking? I think she's doing pretty good. She's getting there.
Yeah, she's getting there. Of course, she's come a long way.
I ain't worried about interior now. Get the outside done first. Get some straight driving in.
Definitely handles nice, you know. No minimum roll. I mean, I'm definitely feeling the suspension, you know.
You're catching some of that smoke out of that pipe. Look at that perk, it's barely sticking out of the hood. Little sneak attack.
We're creeping at 200 right now, so I think we're gonna try to let it idle, give it a break at 201. Yeah, that's getting hot now.
That's
Right,
the
kamikaze.
hard today, man.
Kamikaze.
Oh, no rubbing.
Oh! Yeah, 202. Yeah, she's creeping.
Yeah, it's holding now, just let the heat out.
What happened? Where we at?
Just over here a little tinkering with trying to get her to pull off a little bit. You know.
Where we at? 205?
Got to get some sparrows in there for the big man.
Yeah, we got to change them up, right? That's all right. Hey, if that's the least thing we got to do, that's the least thing we got to do, right? Burn like a kid. She's hungry, guys. She's hungry.
Holding at 205.
Holding 205. So I think,
Just got to do that.
guys, it's probably about 97 degrees right now. It's holding 205 with the hood up. So we reached the point where it's stabilized. So I think it's just come down to getting some fans with a little bit more oomph behind them. Would you agree?
Get a little bit of altercations up here on the hood.
Yeah. We're gonna open that.
that.
We're gonna open that up a little bit back there. Try to get some more air going.
205, 206 is bouncing back and forth. So what do you think? I think she's doing pretty good.
Little bit of couple little bugs we got to work out. Other than that, I mean, it's freaking hot today. We'll see what it does here in a second. If it's gonna actually try to go down or not. Probably not. We're gonna have to put some big boy fans in it. Other than that, we got no rubbing so far. Everything seems okay, and we're gonna start busting it down again and get the paint done, and that's it. But Cricket, once again, thanks for chilling and helping me out with this one.